Let's talk Avengers Endgame. Not Infinity War for the 30th take. I'm gonna try and be spoiler free, but to properly review this video, I may have to touch up on a mild spoiler or two. And really, when I go to record a video, it decides to become rush hour on my road. But the mild stuff I'll mention, you've probably heard about. It's nothing that's going to ruin the movie, so just keep that in mind if you haven't seen it yet. Off the bat, the first scene is a huge positive. Affected me more emotionally than the end scene of Infinity War, because although I still knew these people would more than likely get restored when they get the gauntlet from Thanos at the time, and I'm not going into what happened with some of that major stuff, but it's Hawkeye when his family disappears, and it is an emotional moment. He's having a great, touching father-daughter moment with his daughter, teaching her training her at archery, and she shoots a bullseye, and he looks away talking to his wife and tells her to collect the arrow, and when he looks back, she's gone, and then he looks and his family's gone, and that is a heartbreaking moment. Then we cut to Tony on the Guardian ship with Nebula, and you get some good scenes there of them trying to fix the ship and even killing time playing paper football, and a touching scene of him giving a farewell message. They messed the whole scene up immensely, in my opinion, by having Captain Marvel carry the ship back to Earth, because this would have been such a perfect bookend to have the final film with Tony Stark mirror the first film, where we see the man down and out in a no-win situation and have to dig himself out with his wits. Instead, someone shows up and saves the day for him. So we get the scene where Captain Marvel meets the rest of the Avengers, and they try to track Thanos. We get a nice little encounter regular with a shocker that a lot of people won't see coming. And then we jump 5 years later, and this is where the crux of the movie kicks off. Ant-Man does emerge from the quantum realm, and he realizes, hey, maybe with this we can travel through time, collect the stones in the past, and undo the snap. So first they all go to Stark. Stark's not interested. A lot of the characters are clearly dealing with post-traumatic stress because they failed. Thor especially, which he's fat, he's drinking, he let himself go, and Fat Thor is funny at first, then becomes very distracting. I thought there was a huge missed opportunity here, because they had a chance to do something really interesting with PTSD and amazing, and instead they played it up for more of a joke. I didn't find a lot of the Thor scenes funny. In fact, I found them more tragic, because I saw it for what it is, a man covering up his guilt and sorrow and regret, running from it. I myself have very mild PTSD, but that being said, I got an understanding of what that's like, so I didn't care to see that played off as a joke. But we do get a lot of great character moments. For Hulk fans, they finally show Professor Hulk, which is basically the Hulk with a fully alert Bruce Banner in control. But again, it was a missed opportunity, because there was a 5-year time jump. In like each film, we've seen the Hulk grow and just become less of this brute, uncontrollable force, and we miss the final step to Professor Hulk, and yeah, that did let me down. They get Professor Hulk on board with the whole time heist thing, and we get some decent scenes, like the scene where they're trying to test it by sending Scott back in time, and he comes back as a baby, comes back as an old man, and everything in between, which was some good stuff. They even get Thor in. I'll say this: the place and time he goes back to, we do get a very touching scene with a great message in it about how everyone's a failure at times, but what's important is what we do after we fail. We get good character resolution scattered throughout the film, and okay, hands up. Spoiler here. Hawkeye and Black Widow go to Vormir to get the Time Stone. Never mind hand here, I was going to say something but I forgot to, but anyway. I mean, not the Time Stone, the Soul Stone. We know what has to happen to get the Soul Stone, and we know these two are best friends, and to me, this is the most emotional scene in the MCU. My best friend is a girl, so, like, this is a scene I could relate to. Yeah, rev that motorcycle somewhere else, please. Because, like, I could... Yeah, not that... That was just an emotional scene because... In a sense, to get the Soul Stone, one of those two had to lose their best friend, and... That's... That was just a great emotional scene that, spoiler alert, Black Widow sacrificed herself so that Clint can be reunited with his family. We get the Time Stones and a twist. Something happens, and we ultimately get an epic final battle with all the heroes uniting against Thanos and his army that was so well done. We get to see Thor dual-wielding Stormbreaker and Mjolnir, and even a scene with Captain America that was set up in Age of Ultron. But, you know, there still had to be a price paid for the good guys to prevail, and someone had to make the sacrifice move. I'm not gonna say who, but oh, that scene was just well done. And we got to see great send-offs for a lot of these characters. Just riding off into the sunset, probably the worst of which was Thor, because I feel like both Infinity War and Endgame, they just walked all over the development that Thor went through in Ragnarok. But we still get to see characters ride off in the sunset, have their happy endings, and if you are gonna stop watching the MCU after this, if you feel this might be a great ending point, I'm gonna say, yeah, it is. It ends perfectly. You can watch this as just that in the true end game. The next generation of MCU, I don't know if I like where it's gonna go, but I'm not gonna watch. So it is gonna be what it is, but as someone who's seen the first Iron Man in the theater and seen this one in the theater, I'm satisfied with the story's conclusion. I really don't need to see where anyone goes from here. Everyone I just get to see ride off in the sunset and enjoy the hard fought piece. So, have you saw Endgame? What are your thoughts? Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I give this movie a solid A. I don't feel quite like A plus because I still feel like there were a lot of times where the comedy softened the drama a little too much, but yeah, solid A. Very good movie. Hope you enjoy it. Over and out.